Hello, it's time to recap Parenthood, final season, episode 2, entitled Happy Birthday, Zeke. So yes, it is Zeke's birthday, and for his birthday he has a cardiologist visit. Some tests and suggests that he have open heart surgery to fix the problems. It is just a fainting spell incident, however, that can be fatal if he's driving or he hits his head on concrete. And Camille, wants to talk to Zeke about it, and she wants him to have the surgery, and she wants him to take it easy. And he says it was nothing, I'm fine, and then, it's his birthday, and she doesn't want to screw that up. So she enlists Adam to talk to him. Adam goes into, Adam mode. He says, I need to take care of this right now, and Crosby needs to cover for me. And of course, Crosby is like, why wasn't I informed of this? It's my dad too. I want to help out. And Adam's just like, you can't handle this. You're gonna, And Adam's like, Crosby, you can't handle this. Dad's gonna, convert you to his side in 2 seconds. Kind of what happens, because Adam gets a call from Kristina about an emergency at the school, and so Crosby has to go over there and talk to him. And of course, he's not Adam. He does it in his Crosby. He'll be like, hey, do you want to talk about it? What does that even mean? Are you sure? And, it's kind of like letting Zeke talk and letting him convince him, which is not what Adam would do. Adam would say, no, Dad, this is what you need to do. Crosby's just kind of sitting back and letting him tell him, and then just kind of going, well, okay. It's an elective surgery, and that's the argument that Crosby uses. Like, he wants to respect his dad's wishes. Although he wants him to, get better and have the surgery, he doesn't want to make his dad do something that he doesn't want to do. So later in the episode, at his birthday party, Adam and Crosby start going at it because they both have two different viewpoints of this. And Joelia says we need to fix this, like he has to have the surgery. But it's really, Crosby and Adam and their two different viewpoints that we're focusing on here. Zeke walks in, it's very awkward. And then, of course, Sarah walks in and has no idea what's going on. She says, hey, party hats! Bottom line, Adam says, Dad, you have to have the surgery. Like, this is serious. You could die. And then what am I going to do? And at that moment, everyone's just really, really emotional because it's like, well, how is Adam going to deal with that, So a big theme in this episode is, kind of end-of-life decisions. Like, Zeke doesn't want to, die on the table. He wants to, go out on his terms. He said, if that happens, then that happens, and just, spray my ashes on the baseball field and play a game for me. He talks to Crosby about that too. He says, what would you rather do? Would you rather have a risky surgery, or would you rather have a fainting spell every now and then? And Crosby says, well, I mean, if that was all that is, then I guess I would settle for the latter, and so he's got Crosby thinking about this too. This is going to be a theme throughout the season. It's going to be, how do we let go? Or how do we, stay strong or keep going even though it's risky? So the emergency that I was saying before with Kristina was a food emergency at her school because they can't find a food service that customizes for each individual kid. And of course these are all, autism or special needs kids, so they have, specific diets, so they need, specific food. If they just have individual foods and just buy them all, it's going to, blow their budget. And so Adam suggests a culinary program. It's actually culinary, which Kristina corrects, to add to their liberal arts program so that they can have an arts alternative. Max wants photography, but they're adding this culinary program to have the kids cook the meals, and so that they save money on hiring chefs. So they just have to buy the food, and the kids will cook it. Having kids who have trouble with conflict, or kids who like certain things or don't like certain things, in a kitchen with hot things and sharp utensils. But Adam controls it pretty well, and at the end we learn that one of the problem children, Edgar, was very excited about cooking chicken, and it gave him something to focus on and something to get excited about, and that's huge for these kids. And so we got a great idea. Speaking of not well-adjusted kids, Sydney Graham had some problems this week. We learned that she has been bullying one of the heavier girls in her class, and Joel and Joelia have to, talk to the teacher about it and find a way to deal with it. And they both know that this is coming from their separation issues, and Sydney's having a very hard time dealing with it, clearly. I mean, if, the parents don't know where this is going and they don't know what's happening, how is, Sydney supposed to know, and how is she supposed to react? It's affecting Sydney more than Victor because she's kind of been in the household longer and she's kind of known her parents' routines, and this break from the routine is really stirring up her world. Whereas Victor has really been kind of pushed around and he's never had really that stable a place, and so this kind of separation is just like, oh, it's another bump in the road. Sydney gets very, angry and she yells at her parents. She said, "I hate both of you," which is clearly a reaction. And we know that she's bullying because she feels that her parents are excluding her, and so she's kind of justified in doing it to others, sort of. It's like she has to have control over something, and, having control and power over this girl is, just kind of validating her feelings. So Joel, wants to talk to Joelia, and Joelia is making a huge point. Like, you can't just talk to me. I've been wanting to talk to you for almost a year. You can't just move out, kiss me, and pretend that you didn't destroy me, because you do. And she says, I can get over it. I'll be fine, but I don't know if the kids will. So now the blame is kind of on Joel. So Amber tells her mother that she's pregnant. That was the cliffhanger that we were left with. And Sarah just kind of stares blankly and says, "Oh?" And, how? Sarah tells her daughter, this is a lot of work if you're going to do this. And, you just want other people around to support you. And it's going to be really hard because I know what it is to be a single parent and I know how much work it is. So I just want to tell you. And she's kind of saying it in that Sarah kind of way where she's saying something else at the same time. And so Amber picks up on that. She's like, "Oh, so you're just telling me you don't want me to do this? You could just come out and say it." Sarah, gets a photo album and she says, "I didn't tell you about the good things, and this is going to be really great for you because it's going to make you happy and loved, and it's going to be." And Sarah's going to support her because she says to Hank that it doesn't matter how I feel about it, she needs me. Amber also tells her grandfather that she's pregnant at his birthday party as she's kind of getting emotional. And he, gives her a hug and says, "No, it's not a bad thing. It's wonderful. It's beautiful." And he's like, "I'm going to be a great grandfather. What's going on? How's that happening?" That confession to her grandfather, plus Jabbar wanting to sing that birthday song that they made for him for his 80th birthday also, kind of gets Zeke thinking about his family and how he wants to be around until he's 80 to see his great-grandson or daughter and, to have the children sing for him again. And so at the very end, he tells Camille he's going to get the surgery. Coming up, we're going to see Zeke actually go in and get the surgery, and also coming up, Amber is going to tell Ryan about the pregnancy, and, we'll find out how he reacts. Also, Ruby, Hank's daughter, is going to steal something, and he's going to have to step up and be a father with that. Can't wait till next episode. See you guys next week.